Hi, welcome to the Art Life video blog. I'm Mel Paradise.
I'm Jacob Wolf. Thank you for having me here, Mel.
Oh, you're interviewing me though.
Well, I'm at your place, your studio.
Oh yeah.
So
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Surrounded by all the great artwork that I've collected at all the shows that I've been doing. These are like all the other artists that I've met are just like super inspiring.
I have a wall of inspiration at my home as well.
Nice.
And it's artists that I've collected or traded with or like gifts from people. And it keeps me going. It really does.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, these artists are so good.
Like I see it and I'm like, they're working so hard. Like I must continue to work hard too. Like,
Definitely.
Keeps me going.
See it that way as well.
Yeah.
So this is the second time that I've interviewed Mel Paradise.
Hello.
And so you can feel free to check out the first interview with her. I don't know the day, but if you search...
It was a long-ass interview. It was like a half-hour long of me just like showing off stuff that I was working on at the time. It's like not... My thoughts are much more organized this time
I think
around.
that since then...
So much shit's happened.
I'm a lot more organized in my interview process as well. So I think both of us have come a really long way since then.
For sure.
So
Lots to
we like to do catch-ups or
catch like on fries.
no. Well, I saw a really disturbing video about that from Scam that he posted last night. He was really excited about all the attention it got, but not catch-ups. Like touchbacks. What do we call it?
Like follow-ups?
Follow-ups, that's the word. So, I am known for my brain farts on camera.
I'm known for my farts on camera.
Hopefully we get some of those. That would make this awesome.
I didn't get paid for this interview.
You're right. So, we're just gonna follow up and talk about some of the stuff that has been going on.
Yeah.
And so, tonight, we're doing this interview, but the very first thing that we did when we got here, besides smoking a little bit of weed, was Mel eats weird stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, the hella munchies.
We did have some munchies, and it was a good thing.
But I actually, on my old YouTube channel, I did a bunch of episodes of that like a few years ago, before I moved to Portland. So those videos are on the old channel. My new channel is going to be Mel Paradise, and it's going to be more based around my art and, you know, craft tutorials, that sort of thing. But I also want to do like discussion stuff, and I got a bunch of requests to bring back Mel Eats Weird Stuff, and then I also got requests for video game reviews too, and I'm like, maybe I'll come back to it, maybe I won't, I don't know. There's only so much time in the day, and I'm working on like the art stuff like full time, you know.
Yeah.
So it's hard to make time for everything. So I'm gonna stick to the tutorials and Mel Eats Weird Stuff for now on there, and then everything else will come later. But yeah, so we recorded a couple episodes for that. I don't know when they'll be posted, but when I get around to editing them, they'll be on the new channel.
Right on.
Yeah.
Editing does take time.
Yes, that does too. We're in like the middle, well, at the time of recording this, it's the middle of December, and I'm like right in the middle of the holiday season, so even after this interview, I'm going to be going back to work and probably working until like midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning probably, so
right.
Just working on stock, you know, and just catching up. So much work.
What is the main thing that people are ordering from you right now?
Well, I'm happy to say that my sushi toys are selling really well. I got custom tags made for them, so they're like super, you know, legit now, and I'm taking them to market. I sold a few to a store in Vancouver, so that's like my first like wholesale deal I got. And then when they ordered from me though, I forgot on my wholesale sheet I had included these hand-sewn felt sushi that I make, and I had none on stock, and I was like, oh no! So I had to like stay up really late one night and just like crank out a bunch of these hand-sewn little sushis. It's like, this is my first wholesale deal. Ah! And then just cranked a bunch out and then like sent them off, and I was like, bye sushi.
Well, good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where is that?
What the store is? It's called Jane's Treasure Chest
In Vancouver?
in Vancouver, Washington. Yes.
Right on. Well, if you're in the area,
You can go find my
Go
sushi. And
check that out.
I also sent them a sample of the smaller size sushi. I mean, like the small, not the tiny ones that they ordered, but the small size. And then I'm hoping, if those sell, they'll want to purchase more. And they are for sale. Like, I'm gonna approach a couple more stores and stuff. So anybody out there who sees this that wants to carry my Sushi Shack sushi plushies, please let me know.
Right on.
Yeah.
And then if just some individual, not a store or somebody, but if they just wanted to get a hold of your sushi.
Oh yeah, it's in my Etsy shop. So just go to Etsy and type in Mel Paradise or Sushi Shack, and it'll come up.
Right on.
Yeah.
Do you have any available that we can show?
Oh yeah, sure. Hold on, let me grab some real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna just sit here and dance and entertain.
Sweet. Sweet. I have another sculpture too I could show you as
Yeah,
well.
please. Anything that you want to showcase is fantastic.
Okay. Okay, so this is how busy I've been. I haven't even unpacked these for my holiday show I did like day before yesterday. And I have, there's some little ones in here, and they all have different faces. This one's Hamachi. And you can see I have a little logo, Mel Sushi Shack.
Oh, so
Stuff by Mel Paradise. I have my own little pixel logo on there. See, it's me with the purple hair and the green hat. If you see that, I made it. You see? And then we've got these big sushi plushies here. This is the new one I just added. He's the Spam Musubi. And people were requesting that one, so I made him. He's a little bit upset. He's like, why'd you keep me in the bag?
Do they all have different faces, or is it?
Yeah, and when you order them from my Etsy shop, you can actually customize which expression you want. I have six different expressions that you can order. This one's cheeky. Yeah, that one's Unagi, and he's got a cheeky expression. But yeah, it's just those are what they are. They're sushi pillows. They're really good for like travel pillows too, because they're like just the right size. They're super squishy.
Awesome.
Yeah, like when I'm gonna show them, like, squish my sushi. Squish them.
And how much are these?
The big ones are 20, and the small ones are 10 if you buy them at a show. If it's online, I think they're 12 and 22. Yeah. And if you want to order them wholesale, email me.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then you have some more plushies over here.
Yes, I've actually been doing quite a bit of sewing. And I've been doing a couple fun projects, or at least I was when I had the time, and I don't have the time anymore. But I want to make more sea creatures, and I'm really into like bizarre sea creatures and stuff. And I made this anglerfish, and his name is Andy the anglerfish.
Does it light up?
It did, but the battery died. I have to
Okay.
pull it out and replace it. I'd ordered some more lights to make a whole batch of them. I wanted to make like half a dozen of them in different colors. But then when I got the lights, they were USB lights, and so I couldn't use them.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I have to order some more of these little guys.
Yeah, he's
some little LEDs
pretty
with
awesome.
the battery packs inside. But yeah, so he actually does light up, and he's cuddly. He's not ferocious. He's awesome. And then this one was an all-day project. It was a pain in the ass because I had to hand sew all the little legs on, but this is a sea pig. It's a type of sea slug.
It's an actual thing?
Yeah.
A sea pig.
Yeah, a sea pig. They're a
That
type of sea
is
slug.
a bizarre
Yeah.
sea animal.
They look like little slugs, little things, and they got antennas, and
It's
they
so
have
cute.
antennas in the back too, but I didn't attach those.
So if this is an all-day project, how much would this run somebody?
That one, I feel like since I had already made the pattern, I mean, like, the day project was actually, like, developing the pattern and stuff too, and figuring all that out, and then, like, the easy part was actually, like, putting it together. But, yeah, something like that, I would charge probably $80 for.
Man,
Yeah.
that's super rad.
Yeah, because to me, that's not, that's like a one-of-a-kind product, that's like a sculpture. It's not,
Yeah.
That'd be like an educational toy, not, like a kid's plaything. I mean, it could be. It's totally huggable. I mean, you could, like, latch it onto some kid's face or something, like a face hugger. Right?
You should definitely
The most
do a
cuddly face hugger ever. But they've been done. You can get them at the conventions and stuff. I'll grab one for you next time I'm there if you want one.
Okay. At one time, it was a good idea.
I still want to get like the head crab thingies from Half-Life. They make the hats that look like the head crabs.
Yeah.
I still want to get one of those and just wear it around.
And So you have your cell paintings that are kind of blasting off as well, right?
Yes. Well, I'm working on getting them in a portfolio right now, but between shows and stuff, it's been hard to find the time. Like, I'm making stock and I'm promoting this, and then I'm trying to like do this and that, and uh, yeah. But I did a whole bunch of them this last year. Like, last time he interviewed me, I had one, I think, and that was the one, and it was just kind of like an experiment or whatever. But I have been doing more of these paintings, so I've done like probably 12 of them this year.
And you've sold a lot of them, right?
I sold 3 of them, yeah. Yeah, so,
Awesome.
yeah, and it was just a private buyer from out of the country, and they're like, I want to buy some local art, and I was like, hi, come to my studio, and so they came over, and he just, like, handed me cash. I was like, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, true story.
Very
So, I'm hoping that people, well, that's the business. I guess I should actually talk about the art, right? It's they're cell forms, and it's kind of like Zen doodling, but not.
Should I grab one?
Yeah, grab whichever one off the wall that you want. You should show jelly beds maybe, or that one. That one's cool too. Or both. Yeah. I had a name for this one, but then I forgot what it was. I wrote it down somewhere. But so they look like cell forms, or at least that's what I'm calling my style, is cell form. And they're cells, like organic shapes and stuff, but I just kind of like make a flow, and they're, how do you describe it? I mean,
How do you...
abstract.
Yeah, it is abstract.
And then they have metallic highlights filling in the negative spaces between the colored parts too. And it's I really like the idea of like biology and technology combining, you know, and I'm really into like transhumanism and stuff. And so I want to explore that more, you know, in ideas and in art and stuff. And like, yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing with this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And since we did the last interview, you've been able to quit your day job and just focus on your art, right?
Yes. It's been exciting, but it's been like stressful at the same time.
Yeah.
Because it's like a whole change in a lifestyle, you know. It's like the days get busier, but it's a lot more fun, you know. I don't know how to describe. It's been kind of stressful because I've been like, it was approaching the holiday season, so after this, I know it's going to slow down a little bit too, you know. But at that same time, like I have 3 shows lined up for next month, so like, I'm like, yes, I can do this. But yeah, I've been working more here, you know, but I've had more time for my art and stuff, so I've been catching up on a lot of stuff, and I've been able to make time for other projects, you know, and I've been able to take on more, like commission work, you know, more custom orders from people that are like, okay, I want this kind of pixel art, or I want this, you know, and so, yeah, I've just been keeping busy, just making stuff endlessly, almost. It seems it's hard to find time to rest.
Yeah. What are some of your, do you have any, like, new goals in mind?
Yes, well, I'm working on, like I said, I'm working on my portfolio right now, so I want to, sorry, I just had a huge brain fart. You had a brain fart earlier.
It's okay.
It finally, like, caught over there, alright.
You got the waft of my brain fart.
Yeah, I got the brain fart waft. But no, I'm gonna try and get more paintings and stuff into my portfolio, and I'm gonna have 2 different portfolios. I'm gonna have one that's just all the pixel art and sprites and stuff that I've done, and then I'm gonna have one that encompasses all the other creative stuff that I've done. So it could be these paintings, it could be sculptures, you know, my sewing projects. Did you know I did costume design for 7 years?
I think we may have talked about that at one point.
Yeah. I'd like to do some fashion projects. That might be fun too.
Somebody was just asking me, actually, I think it was my friend Kimberly, if they knew anybody that could design a jacket.
Oh yeah.
So I might send her your way.
Mhm. Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like work. I like jobs.
Yeah, I send her to a friend of a friend that I don't really know very well, but if I can get you some business, I think I'd like to do that.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I wanted to maybe talk about like the difference, like, okay, because like I do a whole bunch of different art stuff, but you're more into like the fine art community stuff, whereas like I'm more geared towards like the crafty convention, like nerd realm of things, internet stuff, you know, whatever. What do you, how do you see like the, I'm trying to figure out how to word this properly. Where do you see like the overlaps, and how do you think both of those communities could better coexist in Portland?
Man, it just, the interview turned around.
Serious
like
questions are serious.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't asking me very good questions, so I had to bring it up.
Okay. I personally, I try to look at it all as fine art.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think like anybody that puts any effort into what they do, anybody that works towards something, creates something with their own hands, like that's smart. You know.
And personally, I want to give all artists that opportunity to show as if their art were fine art.
Yeah, yeah.
Equal opportunity. Anybody that wants to do an interview can do an interview with me, and I hold a gallery.
You know who you need to interview? You need to interview Katie Clark. She does these guys here, little shy guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should interview her because her art is freaking amazing.
I'd love to.
Yeah, check it out. Katie Clark art.
Okay.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite local painters.
All right, I will. But yeah, so that's my goal, is to bring the art communities from all these different cliques together in the galleries that I throw, or just on the online community.
Yeah.
Through the video blog and the Facebook and whatnot. And I want to be everybody's biggest advocate. Like, if there's something I can do to help promote their art, I want to do it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you know, it's done a lot for me having that type of mentality since I've been doing the interviews.
Sweet.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about?
Was there anything else you wanted to ask me about?
I really just wanted to catch up with you and just...
Do you have any questions about like the conventions or expos, or do you want to explore that at all? Because like I have vast knowledge in that.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody wanted to get involved into doing conventions and expos, how would they begin?
Well, I would suggest first of all having some kind of fan or pop art stuff. You know, there are a lot of illustrators, comic book artists, and stuff that sell at those types of conventions. There's also a lot of crafters like myself. And also I'm working on a comic book too. So, you know, it all fits together. It's all part of the cohesive, like, nerd ecosystem, the geekosystem, as it were. And, yeah, so you just have art, and then you find the shows that are happening in your area, and you apply to them. Some of the shows are juried, some of them aren't. You know, it's very much like the gallery shows and that sort of thing. Basically, you just pay some money to rent out a space for a minute, and you sell some stuff, and you know, that's...
Does it happen right away? Does success happen right away just because you get into a convention?
No. No. Some shows suck. You will have shitty shows. You know, if you think it's all gonna be fucking fun and happy-go-lucky, you know, there are good shows. There are super really good shows, you know, but it really depends on, like, you know, if you know your audience, where they're at, you know, you wouldn't go and sell comic book stuff at a cat show, you know. Like, so it really depends on, you know, like, your ability to see like where your stuff belongs, find where it goes, and put it there. And then the more frequently you do that, the more people you meet, the more opportunities come up, and that's really what brings you success. Success has nothing to do with like, getting into a show or whatever, it's really the connections that you make when you're at those shows, you know, the people connections, and the building the community and that sort of thing.
Definitely.
I think that spans across like all forms of art though, you know, whether it be film or music or, you know, whatever.
How long have you been doing the conventions now?
Like attending or selling at or
Well,
all of them. I grew up in San Diego, so, you know, my aunt used to drag me to Comic-Con, you know, the big one, before it became like the super media monster that it is today. Back when it was still like kind of a large comic book convention, but it wasn't like movies in your face, blah, 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 you know? So I went to Comic-Con San Diego from 95 up until 2004, I think. I wasn't able to go to 05 because of life issues. But, yeah, that time though, it was just attending conventions, and that was the time when I was doing like costume stuff for like theater and that sort of thing. And then I left, and then I went and I lived out in Arizona for a while, and that's when I started doing the bead craft stuff as a hobby, you know, just to have something to do because it's Arizona. There's nothing to do out there, really. So then I found out there was like a video game show happening thing, and it was like a friend of a friend, and then I was like, hey, you know, like maybe I'll try this out. I've seen, you know, like that's how the last shows happen. I just saw something and was like, hey, maybe I'll try that out. And so I did that show, and it was pretty alright. And, but I wasn't thinking about it, like I never thought it would be something that I would do full time. Like it was just like a hobby thing at that point, you know? But then, like, stuff in my life, especially after I moved to Portland, like my relationship that I was in was like total shit, like fell apart. I was like in a really low place in my life, and I sort of got back into art, not just the bead stuff, but like painting and sculpting and stuff out of necessity. Like it was almost like I had to like fucking just get everything out, you know? So I had to do it, and so I just put everything into it, and then that's when things started to turn around, you know, and then I was just like, oh shit, I can make a living at this. That's pretty fucking cool, you know? So, you know, and I came from a place too that I didn't get a lot of positive feedback, you know? It's like, oh, art, you can't be an artist professional, you know? You get that a lot, especially artists down here, you know? You hear that shit so fucking often. It's just like, I'm sorry, have you seen my bank account lately? Like... like, yeah, alright, I'm just gonna work on my stuff now, bye. That's how I feel about it now, you know? But it's definitely possible to be successful at art. You just have to work your ass off, and you have to fucking give it your all, and you have to fucking put, like, everything into it. And you have to take risks, and you have to do a lot of personal growing, I think. Definitely. Like overcoming the ego and that sort of thing, trying new things and being super open-minded and being positive, even when you don't feel like being positive, you know, just being a good influence on the world around you. Like even if it's not art that you're doing, like just doing that whatever, like you will be successful at whatever you do if you just stay positive and focused.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, any last comments, questions, concerns?
Oh, no. I don't know, I'm kind of tired, and I still have a bunch of work to do.
Yeah.
I'm actually, I got hired out to do the sprites for, there's a company in Seattle called Digital Soaps. Have you heard of them? They're freaking awesome. My friend Crystal, she runs the company. She's the boss lady, and she's totally rad. She makes soaps that are shaped like retro video game cartridges. And they have like parody labels. And they're soap, and they come in all different varieties of scents and games and cartridges. You know, like NES cartridges and N64 cartridges. Like, that's a big bar of soap. But yeah, so she has one of those monthly box subscription things, right? You know, where you can, and she does it bi-monthly. So people pay for like a subscription thing, and then they get like a box of goodies, and it's based around whatever the soap is. And I think it's like Pokemon is the theme right now, so it's different, you know, Pokemon types for the month. So she has me making the sprites as magnets, and so all my sprites are being included in those monthly boxes.
Neat.
Yeah, it's super cool. She saved my ass on my sushi Kickstarter too. I was about 200 short of my goal, and she's like, "Hey, I'll pay you advance for those sprites if you just send them to me." And I was like, "All right," and then she saved it for me so I could get into Saturday market in the springtime.
That's also another exciting thing that's about to happen. For
Yeah. There's Saturday market, you know, that's more of a juried thing. But the one across the street, Skidmore Fountain Market, I wouldn't mind being there. I really like that area. And I know a couple of the artists that vend over there, so that would be really, really cool. But
Yeah.
my goals for this upcoming year to get more stuff into shops, to do more gallery shows, and to do more live shows, because that's really, really, really fun for me. Like, I wish I could get back into performing arts. Like, acting was fun, but I don't do it really anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like I did it when I was younger. But do you know any like performance artists out here?
Yeah.
Cool. Tell them I want to do a project.
Okay. I will put the word out.
'Cause I think it would be fun. I need
Yeah.
to move around more. I'm stuck in my studio too much.
Hit me up.
I need to go dance and
and-
flail around like an idiot.
Let me think about it, and I'll try to hook you up with some people.
Cool.
But yeah, I think we're about out of time.
Which gallery has the best wine on first Thursday?
No idea.
That's what I want to know. Which
I
are
was
you? Wait, what?
I was gonna say the next gallery that I put on is going to be the fourth Effin' Friday 1 year anniversary, and so it's not necessarily at 1 year after me doing interviews or at like exactly 1 year after my first gallery, but it's about 1 year. So everybody that I've interviewed in the last year plus
Huh.
is invited to this giant gallery.
Wow.
I'm still waiting to hear final about one of the venues, but it is going to happen.
What venue are you thinking about, or whereabouts, or is it super
I just
secret?
made a connection on Saturday, and so hopefully that one will work. But if that doesn't, then I have another one in line. But I'm not really wanting to say exactly where.
Is it gonna be downtownish?
I'll tell you off camera.
Oh, okay. That's exciting. I might want to go. Can I paint? Will there be a drawing wall? Because
Yeah.
did you see what happened at the Pancakes and Booze show? Did I tell you about? No, you were drunk. I was drunk. Everybody was drunk at that show, right?
I wasn't too drunk.
Uh,
I had a couple beers.
oh, you seemed a little bit down. But anyways, I was there, and I remember in the ad they said there was gonna be a draw wall, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, because I like scribble. And so I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then there wasn't one, and then I was just like, oh, that sucks. So around midnight, when people started to take their stuff off the walls, and they were still going for like another hour and a half, I moved the stuff that was on one wall that was mine and put it on the other wall with the other people's stuff, and then I started drawing on the wall that was the gallery wall. And so we made that the draw wall, and I was trying to get other artists to come over there. So people were drawing with me for a little bit, you know, and they're just like, oh yeah, but they're just like not into it. I'm like, you guys are artists, what's wrong with you? Like, so they're just like, and then I was frustrating the shit out of people because I was doing abstract shit, and then like, person's like, that creature has another limb, what's up with that? I'm like, why are you asking that? It's my creation. Like,
Do you not get art? Do you not understand the concept?
art? Like, we were doing dialogue through drawing, and then he got really frustrated because I started doing some abstract shit. It's like, I don't know who you are, dude, but you need to like go. I'll buy you a shot of whiskey or something. Like, chill out.
But yeah, at all the galleries, the fourth Effin' Fridays, there's always drawing or painting on the walls.
Nice.
Since we're probably not going to be able to paint on the wall of the gallery, we're either going to get some doors donated to us that will paint and auction, or we'll donate it to the venue so they can hang and showcase, or something will happen. But we do think that will be, I'm pretty sure that
Cool.
painting will be involved, public painting.
Do you think if I made sweet custom belts with like paint pen holders, like some artists would buy those? I make them fashionable.
I'm not going to say yes or no. I probably won't be one of the people to buy a belt. All right, so thanks for tuning in, everybody. Art Life Video Blog, Mel, Motherfucking Paradise,
Yes.
Jacob Wolf.
No motherfucking paradise.
Check out Mel Eats Weird Stuff.
No, it's weird
And
stuff.
I'm on there. It'll be fun.